Welcome to an all-new episode of the No Rules Podcast. I'm Aaron Hilton, as always, joined by my main man, Malik Smith. Malik, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I feel pretty good.
Anything happened recently in the last couple of days for you?
Nothing comes to mind. Let's see. I don't know. Just absolutely destroying the entire city of Boston. That's about it. About it. Just crushing the entire city, single handedly. But
Just
nothing too crazy.
planting your flag in the middle of Harvard Square. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just making sure people don't ever call that little garden up there the garden. You know what I'm saying? There's only one garden. But yeah. Other than that, I'm chilling. I'm out here just being chill, relaxed, humble. You know.
You're the one. You're the
Uh-huh.
one. Most Knicks fans cannot share that sentiment, but I'm glad that at least one of you guys takes the humble card. Although you've earned the brag. Y'all have earned the brag.
Hey, as we said before, job's not finished. Job's not finished. So
Shout out to
I'm not
Kobe.
gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna go crazy.
You're better than me because I will be running around here in a motherfucking Sixers jersey, screaming like it's 2001, which is the last time my team was basketball relevant. So yeah, I mean, no surprise here. We'll allow space for the clear out a little bit later, but just broad strokes here for NBA playoffs. Um, what's been your major takeaway so far in the first couple of weeks?
The major takeaway for me is that I think this might be the best playoffs I've seen in a really, really long time. Like top to bottom, the matchups have just been great. I mean, mind you, we've had uh, two games now, maybe three games, where a team is won by like 40 to 50 points.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Denver Nuggets that just got absolutely rolled in game
destroyed.
two. Obviously, the Heat just back to back, just ass whoopings, just straight belt to ass.
I think it was the biggest. That was the biggest point disparity. I think in like the
In the
first round in
history,
NBA
in
playoffs
the history
history.
of any playoff series, like
Oh, any? I thought it was just the first round.
no,
Jesus
I
Christmas,
think in any playoff series. I mean, I
that's
can't imagine
crazy.
some team
Yeah,
getting beat that bad in the finals, but
yeah, right.
um, yeah, I mean, even with that, right? We've had some absolutely crazy games. Like I I watch a ton of NBA highlights
Mhm.
on YouTube, and they like to do the fantastic finish, like oh wow, crazy finish. Like whoever's doing those edits, like they have like a tough job every night because every night it's been some wild crazy finish. But yeah, just it to me the takeaway has just been this shit is just it's just super entertaining. Like, and it sucks for me that I can't stay up past like 11:30. You know what I'm saying? So, half the time, if that late game is going crazy, I'm waking up like, oh, what happened? But I'm definitely catching that early game. The early games are great. I don't know, man. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I've thoroughly enjoyed every single bit of these playoffs. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I love a good ass whooping. You know what I mean? Like, contrary to popular belief, I kind of enjoy watching the slow motion car crash, figuratively speaking, obviously, not actual car crashes, people. But, I wish I was tuned in to watch Denver get their ass beat because um, it was kind of funny to just see. I just kind of like to see how Russell Westbrook is going to react to certain situations. You know what I mean? And I actually, I think he had like a mini outburst in that game, but surprisingly, even for me, I found myself on his side on that one because it is his job to kind of protect Jokic. I think of all the times that I've seen Russell Westbrook kind of go through some antics and histrionics on the court, that was probably one of the most tame and at least most defensible times for him. And I mean, what are you going to do? Your team gave up 87 points in the first half. You got to do something.
Gotta show some fight.
Yeah, right. You got to fight back a little bit. But I don't know. I can't go to most entertaining playoffs yet. I will say that it's in the running. It's getting there because you have to finish the run, right? It's like you said about your Knicks in the Celtics series. Like, okay, job's not done. The playoffs isn't done. We can have nothing but duds from here on out, and then no one will remember the first round game winners and Mikal Bridges being a defensive superhero. I mean, Knicks fans will remember, but
I think
if the
general
Celtics come
NBA
back and
fans
win
will.
four straight snooze fest games and end up advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals, then what was it all for? So I want to see them run through the tape here. to use a running metaphor there, but I have been thoroughly entertained by what bits and pieces of NBA playoff basketball I've been able to watch so far.
So, what's interesting? I think just speaking about broad, themes this year, the point you just made about if the Celtics come back and win 4 snooze fests, like does it take away from the craziness that we already saw? To me, it doesn't, because I think the one thing that I think we're learning, that I think other people have more appreciation for now, going into this series with the Knicks, right? There was a whole lot of like, there's absolutely no chance the Knicks will win this series. They have no shot, like whatever. It was to the point where people were basically saying like they shouldn't even play the games. They should just give Boston like just move Boston into the next round. Like I feel like that was sort of the vibe.
I don't know if people were saying that much, but I did think that
they weren't saying it in those exact words, but they were essentially saying like we probably don't even need to play the series because Boston's going to win regardless. Yeah. And to me, it's like, okay, so like, why don't we just move Boston into the finals? Just skip past everybody else. Why don't we just move OKC into the finals? Since, these are the 2 teams that everybody thinks were the best anyway. We'll just skip over Cleveland, even though they had the better record, because people didn't believe in Cleveland anyway. It's like, that's not how this works. You have to
Cleveland got their own problems right now. They got to focus.
They absolutely do. But that's the point, right? Like, that's the point, is you have to play the games, right? Like, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. And I think people have gotten so... and mind you, this is literally what we're doing right now, right? So like I am to some degree criticizing myself, but I don't go as far as to say like we shouldn't even people shouldn't even bother to show up because their team's just not good. People get so wrapped up in giving their takes as opposed to just like letting shit play out, right? Yeah, you could say I think X is going to happen, but I think when people were like, they're gonna get swept. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then they see what happened. The first game, it was like, oh, well, they got lucky, right? Okay, cool. We got lucky. Boston missed a couple shots. They will never miss that many shots. A historic amount of shots. Well, Game 2. What happened?
I mean, they were up like, what was it, 20 in the third quarter with like 6 minutes left in the third quarter. I think I saw a couple of screenshots of Boston being up like 72-52 or something like that. And when you watch a colossal collapse like that, I mean, like you said, in today's game, shooting, like I remember a time when making 23s in an NBA game seemed ludicrous, and only like the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like only the Golden State Warriors were doing that. Now it's like 22 to 23 3-point makes per game is like pretty, I'm not like all the way average, but like it's not a surprise when the top 3-point shooting teams like the Celtics go out there and make 20 plus threes. But before, like, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 23s was nuts. You know what I mean? The Celtics missed 45 threes in game 1, right? And how do they respond? They go back here in game 2, and they continue to take threes while they're up big. You shoot yourself into and out of games by living and dying by the 3-point line. And, being a native of New England, by way of Rhode Island, shout out to 401, I have a lot of family and friends who are big Celtics fans, and just watching them crash out on Facebook, calling for Joe Mazzulla's job. I'm like, let's also, I want my Celtics fan to hear this. I'm sorry, I have to clear up for a second because I did. I had some interaction with some friends on Facebook, some friendly banter, but I understand it's a "what have you done for me lately" league. I understand that a lot of Celtics fans want to not give Joe Mazzulla credit. Because Brad Stevens technically built this team, even though he was coaching this team and couldn't get him as far as Ime Udoka did. So clearly he was a better team builder than team coach. So, something has to be said for the guys coaching and doing the job. But, I'm not going to transgress on that. What I will say is, let's not act like your team has fucking won anything other than 1 ring since they were playing on tape delay. You know what I mean? Like, you can boast about your banners in Boston. It's about winning. You've won fucking 1 title since Larry Bird wore the jersey. 1.
Oh, they won 2.
2.
KG, Paul Pierce.
That's what I mean. But I'm talking like
you're not counting that.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like because they're trying to get rid of that coach, right? So what I'm saying is, you're acting as if you're fucking Titletown USA. When in reality, the Red Sox have won your most recent rings, both. If you're not talking about last year's ring, if you're not going to give Joe Mazzulla credit for last year, well, whatever, then don't do that. But to call for a man's job when he's literally giving you 50% of the championships that you have to celebrate since the fucking 80s, let's like chill out probably on calling for the man's job. You know what I mean? Like, has he done a bang up job? No, but he's not the one fumbling the ball at the top of the key or letting both of your star players, by the way, got ripped by Mikal Bridges at the end of the game. So for the Jaylen Brown hive that say he's the best player, well, he got ripped in game one. And then for the Jason Tatum hive, myself included, well, Jason Tatum looked lost at the end of the game in game two when he, dribbled too much and then tried to pass it out. And then there's Mikal Bridges yet again. So say whatever it is that you want, but at a certain point in time, the players on the floor got to play.
Oh, 100%. And as much as I agree with you that sort of feeds into my point of people just want to have the takes instead of just like letting shit play out. It's like we're firing Mazzulla 2 games into the series. It's I get it. People are mad. I totally get it. I mean, Knicks fans have been firing Tibbs every game of this season, including the wins. They still want to fire Tibbs, right?
Right.
So like, and I've also had my like, hey man, I think it might be time for Tibbs to, hey, let's give him a nice, front office job. Yeah, get front office job. You get to be the GM. Give somebody else a shot. But to your point, right? Like everybody is so, just let the shit happen. Like the playoffs are long. They start in April. They end in June. Like just I get it. We want to have these moments where everything and whatever. And I say all that with the caveat that Joe Mazzulla absolutely should have called the timeout. I don't understand why he thought.
100%.
I don't understand why he thought.
That's also it's not a shock though, because that's also it's not. He wasn't breaking routine. That's what Joe Mazzulla through wins and losses. Not to say that it's a right thing.
No, I agree. Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's his thing is timeouts are his first year as coach. He just didn't call timeouts. Like they'd be like imploding. And he'd just be standing there with his hands in his pockets. It's like him and Darvin Ham.
I don't know what you guys want me to do.
Yeah.
It's not like I can break up. I can't break this momentum. This is great TV.
So yeah, him not calling the timeout was definitely falls right on brand for Joe Mazzulla. But to your point, I'm not going to get the reason why I'm humble and the reason why I'm not going to get ramped up about the Knicks being up 2-0 on the road is they could still lose the series, right? And that's not even me like being afraid to be excited because I was pumped. I fucking fired up, like make sure I didn't wake the baby because I was like,
I expected a lot more spicy texts in the group chat.
Oh no!
Like, yeah, I really did.
I'm saving them. I'm saving them all for Sid. I'm saving them all for Sid.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Sid gonna get all it. But when we close this out, because I do believe we'll win the series. Yeah. I do believe we're up 2-0. So
I agree.
But
Boston will win 2 games, but yeah, you get them at 6.
Yeah. But I can be humble and be like, yeah, hey, listen, great win. We'll because it's just been a lot of shit talk between the Jalen Brunson's a foul baiter. The Knicks are not that good. The Knicks are soft. They're not as good as last year's team. Everybody loved last year's team. Everybody hates this year's team. I'm like, hey, let's let it play out. But that's my vibe with the whole playoffs. Like, I feel like the games are so fun. Everything's so unpredictable. We talked about unpredictability with the Clippers Nuggets game 7. That was my whole thing. Was like I actually have no idea what to pick, and I just picked the Clippers because I just wanted the Clippers to finally get one.
If only someone could have told you about Game 7 Harden. You know what I mean? Now I will say, I did not see 7 points coming. That's like I really didn't see that coming. I didn't know it would be like that bad.
It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting.
I thought that because ESPN, their app has been on drugs like the past couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on with it. So I thought it was just another glitch. I was like, is this thing not updating? Like, what's going on?
Does that mean 17?
Yeah, like seven shots this quarter. Like, I don't know. Does he know that this is the last game if they lose? Like,
yeah. So, but to me, the I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen tonight. Like vibe that's been going on every single night of these playoffs. that's exciting. Like to me, that's more exciting than like the need for me to be like, this is absolutely gonna happen, and like Paul Pierce's dumbass talking about the Celtics guaranteed to win, and if they don't, then I'm gonna walk 15 miles from my house to the studios of Fox Sports
That's
in a
probably
row.
his Apple Watch speaking, telling him to get up and exercise.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he did it for sure.
Time to stand up.
Yeah, so I mean, people just want to be right ahead of time as opposed to just being like, "Hey, I think this, but I don't fucking know because I'm not out there playing." Like, honestly, I feel like that's the role we should all be taking. But either way, I just feel like this has been a thoroughly enjoyable. Maybe it isn't the most enjoyable, but and maybe I'm a bias because the Knicks are part of this awesomeness, even though they were in it last year and it was great. But this has just been next level. Like every single team that everyone's been like, I don't think they have a shot has come out firing.
Yeah, I mean, one time for the Pacers, you know what I mean? Like,
We got to talk about it.
we talked a lot about your Knicks, and rightfully so, because I think they're turning a lot of heads here, mine included. But I mean, definitely one time for the Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton, who was voted most overrated player by a player poll done by the Athletic. So I think this is a nice little victory lap for him, coming off the gold medal for Team USA. I think a lot of people kind of felt like he was just kind of running a little bit flat. Things weren't really working out for him. This past year has been more or less kind of like a disappointment. But what a lot of people didn't realize, Indiana ended the regular season pretty strong. And then they went to the postseason. They handled business with a banged up Milwaukee Bucks team, got them up out of there. And they're handling Cleveland. They punched them in the mouth. They're up 2-0. Halliburton hitting the game winner in game 2. Just taking the heart of the Cleveland Cavaliers fans. I don't know how they get up from the mat from this. But for yourself, Malik, do you think that Cleveland is in more dire straits or Boston? Which one?
Cleveland. Because Garland hasn't played the last 2 games. I think DeAndre Hunter's got a dislocated thumb. Mobley, what was it? The ankle? I don't know. Something. He hurt something. So they were missing 3 guys, and they were still up 20 points in that game, missing 3 of their two of their starters and one of their
main rotation
best guys
players,
off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that it was the way that they blew that game. I was watching the game on mute, which because I was kind of doing something else, so I had the TV down. And so, I feel like when you watch a game without the announcers and all that stuff, it kind of changes it because, the play-by-play guys, obviously they're walking you through it. And the way you can sort of just tell like what's happening based on the tone of their voice and how high they get when something happens. But when you're just sort of watching it on mute, like, and doing something else, but you kind of keep looking up and it's like, oh, okay, it keeps getting closer. I was like, what's going on? And eventually I had to like sit down and be like, all right, but I never turned the volume up. So I'm watching the whole thing play out and I'm like, oh shit. Like, what is happening?
Wait a minute.
Mitchell hits him, first of all, the putback by Neesmith over Donovan Mitchell, where he literally like dunked on him and then took his head. It was like a Mortal Kombat finishing move. It looked like he took his head and like cracked it over his knee. I was
fatality.
Like, yeah, it's like, should that be an offensive foul? Like, I didn't even know what happened. I was like, is Mitchell okay? Like, he was like rolling on the ground. It was insult to injury. So yeah, all that, you're still up 7 with like 40 seconds to go, and somehow.
Halliburton gets his own rebound on a missed free throw, steps behind the line.
No. He dribbled out. They let him dribble out. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
How are you not crowding him?
You let the shooter, who is a point guard, by the way, grab his own rebound off a missed free throw, which just shouldn't happen. Full stop there. Then after grabbing the rebound, okay, no threes. You let him step behind the 3-point line so that he can hit the go-ahead and game-winning 3-point.
Yeah.
I don't really have any words, man.
I know that locker room was quiet, boy. I know that locker room was quiet. Like, and to me, the reason, the injuries are part of it.
Yeah.
But that loss, to me, it's like 800 times worse than the Celtics losing to the Knicks. Like obviously a 20-point comeback is a 20-point comeback, but like there was like a just a crazy momentum that the Knicks were playing with, and it just like it started building and building and building. The Indiana win, like they just kind of hung around, and like even hung around, they were still down enough points where if you're Cleveland, it's just like, all right, like just sit on the fucking ball, right? What do they say in soccer? Park the bus. Like, come on, guys, like just at a certain point, you just can't. There's no way you can give up that many points in that short amount of time. Unless you're just trying to lose the game.
Like, I would have to zag on you on that for the simple fact that in the Boston versus Knicks series, you have two teams playing at full strength, or as full strength as you can be in the playoffs. In the Cavaliers, but in the Cavaliers series, you're clearly, like you said, you're without three finishers, because whether he starts or not, Hunter finishes the game on the floor, right, for them, and he's their best 3-point shooter. Percentage-wise, at least. So, like you're missing three main pieces, including the defensive player of the year. So it's not as if they're like just minor losses or people that are in the rotation and just keep, like, these are major key players. And who's to say if Mobley's on the floor, if that rebound goes to Halliburton? Maybe Mobley's able to athletically get out there or box him out and get the rebound, or the putback dunk doesn't happen for Nesmith. Like, who knows? You can run 1,000 scenarios in your head, but I know that they had a much worse shot at winning that game without those three players than the Celtics had with their top two players on the floor. They weren't meant. Drew Holiday was out there on the floor. Derek White was on the floor. Tatum, Brown, all of their mainstays and main players were out there on the floor playing important minutes at home against a rival. And you just let it slip through the cracks. You know what I mean? And you say whatever it is you want. Ironic that Brunson hit the free throws to win the game, but he was fouled. Like, I can't fault. Like, initially I wanted to be like, oh, here goes the foul baiter again. And then, but when I was watching it live, I'm like, no, Drew was like, first of all, he hugged him. He should have been fouled before that, honestly. But they let it go on an extra couple of seconds, and he was fouled, and he goes to the free throw line, and just like most lefties do, he hit both of them. So, I just think it's got to be the Celtics that are in more dire straits, because they are playing at more full strength. They are against a much more volatile team and more volatile fan base than the Indiana Pacers fan base. I think the Cavaliers can go back and look themselves in the mirror and be like, we let some stuff slip, but we were playing at like 60% capacity. If we can just get our point guard back, or if we could just get our defensive player of the year back, or just get our sixth man back, just one of those three guys, it's a completely different series.
I think they're cooked, but I mean,
if they don't come back, they're cooked for sure. Yeah. But I don't know what the severity of any of those three injuries are.
I mean, if you want to go, Monday morning quarterback / first take hot takes, right? Like, I think it's more like, if Cleveland doesn't win this series, they haven't done anything as a team, right? Like, they haven't won anything. So you have this crazy season, you win 64 games, you're the number one seed. Yeah, like, you might have injuries, but like, I don't think anyone's going to remember that if they lose the series, and like, we're talking about this in the off season. We're not going to be like, oh, well, it doesn't count because, some of their guys were injured. You just be like, well, we didn't trust them anyway, and look, they freaking lost to the Pacers. So, like, that's it.
I mean, it just highlights the regular season really doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
I mean, it matters, but it is not the end all be all, right? Like, it just isn't. It
has some bearing, but again, like you said, you still have to lace them up. You still have to go out there and play. Is it better for you to be a top seed and be able to have Game 7 at home throughout the playoffs? Of course it is. It's always easier to win a Game 7 at home unless you're the Clippers. But I think.
Well, they were on the road, but yeah.
Well, they were on the road, but
yeah, even if they were
Game 7, the people that they have to play in the Game 7 is more the problem than the home or away situation for them. I think for the Cavaliers, it's awesome we won all these games, and we were far and away the number one seed in the East and one of the best teams in the league. record-wise, but none of that shit matters. That you reshuffle the deck in the postseason. You know, there are a lot of teams that are like, look, we're veterans. We've been through the wars before. We don't need to be the number one seed. The Celtics were one of those teams. I think they were like, look, let's just get to the postseason relatively healthy, because both of their stars at one point or another were banged up. A lot of their role players were banged up, Porzingis and Holiday and all that. So I just think it highlights the fact that when you're out there with these other teams, they belong too. And I think a lot of us get caught up in the seeding and, you know, the talk shows and everybody else that wants to hype these certain players up. And, Jason Tatum, and he's on a revenge tour and all this. And, you know, Donovan Mitchell out here to prove it, and Cleveland won over 60-some-odd games, and Indiana should just be happy to get past the Bucks. Well, no, they're not. They were just in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they ran into the Boston Celtics, who were clicking on all cylinders. But who is to say that that experience didn't give them the gumption to be like, look, we belong here.
Yeah.
And they're showing it.
I agree. The reason why I think I'm giving Boston a little bit more leeway is that, like, they won the finals last year, right? So they finally did it, even though a lot of people were like, this team's kind of shaky and they didn't play anyone. But, you know, they won, right? So it's like you can't really say anything when they win the championship. The other thing is, like, this team's played in the finals of the Eastern Conference Finals for like 4 straight years. So, like, they have the same amount of, like, wear and tear on them as a team that's an actual dynasty, a team that, like, you know, the Warriors in their heyday. Like, if they won even one more championship, I think we would look at this team differently and be like, well, they're tired because they've played so many games, right? Like, they played just about as many games as any team that actually has won a championship. So you look at the injuries and all of that stuff, and, like, if you actually think about it, it'd be like, it would be kind of weird if they weren't injured, because they like they've had so much wear and tear on them. Maybe I'm also saying that because I want the Knicks to beat the Celtics.
I mean, Jason Tatum, I'm looking at it right now. Jason Tatum, in his career, has played 119 postseason games, which is the equivalent of about a season and a half.
Yeah.
And then that's just games wise. But then when you add in the factor that 2 of those were NBA Finals trips, and all of those were NBA playoff trips, which is a lot more of a grind. It is a lot more difficult. He's playing 39 minutes a game in those 119 games. It's a lot of wear and tear, like you said. He hasn't missed the playoffs in his career. So these guys, they've in each of the last 3 years leading into this year, he's played at least 19 postseason games. So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, it's nuts. Like these guys, like, they're, you know, and then in between that, you know, he had the Olympic trip. Well, I mean, he got some rest. He got some rest. He was there though. Yeah,
he was just in Paris. He was just in Paris.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get his fashion on. You know, he wanted to take LMI to see the Eiffel Tower and shit. You know, but it's
he took Deuce out there to see to get a little French bread or something.
Exactly, get some baguettes and shit. Nah, you know, but like you said, it's a lot of wear and tear over some years. Things just wearing down, and maybe it's not to take anything away from your Knicks. Maybe they're just the better team in this series. That doesn't mean that they're a better team overall, because I still think that at full strength for either one of these teams, the Celtics are the better team, but that doesn't matter. Skill. What matters is who's the better team when we lace them up. Yeah. And for the last 2 games, beginning to end, it's been the Knicks. The scoreboard don't lie. It hasn't been like some kind of crazy, the Knicks are shooting 40 free throws and the Celtics are shooting 10. They're evenly matched games, and the Celtics are squandering leads because the Knicks are taking it. Like, in order to squander a lead, the other team has to still make shots. They have to still have faith and belief that we can come back and win this game. And some Knicks fans might be wondering why the hell Jalen Brunson's still getting 40 minutes when you're down 20 late in the third quarter. But, well, this is why. Because we can come back and win. And I think that sends a message throughout the whole locker room, and it sends a message to the fan base. And it's sending a message to the Boston Celtics that, like, we're not going to lay the fuck down. We're coming at you full bore. And now you have to go into Madison Square Garden and win a game 3. Because if you lose game 3, you're probably getting swept.
You sound like me. You sound like me right now.
I'm
Sound like
just I'm just
you might be
realistic.
drinking Kool-Aid.
I'm just being realistic. I don't want to see a sweep. I
Nigga,
have a strong
I
disdain.
want to
I
see
don't
a sweep.
hate the Celtics anymore. I
I want to
hated the
see a
Celtics
sweep.
one point. No, yeah, well, of course
Get
you
this
do.
shit.
Yeah.
Get
To
this
give them no
series.
life. See, I hated the Celtics when Paul Pierce was on the Celtics, but I don't hate them anymore. I just have a strong disdain for the Celtics. Now, the fan base wise, I hate the Knicks fans more than I hate even Yankees fans, to be honest with you. Like
Okay.
y'all are the picture of, obnoxious fan base. Like when they look up obnoxious fan base in the dictionary, it's just a big ass Knicks fan with a Spider-Man jumpsuit and a fucking bandana and a Knicks hat with Timberland boots on outside of the garden. Like that's the face of obnoxious fanhood. But
Teach their own.
yeah, I mean, shout out to y'all. I don't have anything to cheer for, so I'm doing my best over here to just enjoy what I'm watching and not be a hater. Because for me, if your team ain't in it, you really don't have a whole lot to say.
And yet and still, I've seen a lot of people whose teams ain't in it talking a lot of shit. But
Yeah,
that's why I've been humble, because why would I even waste my breath on these peasants who's
this nigga is unbelievable, bro.
hey,
Unbelievable.
listen, I got a little something. I can't be humble all day, you know what I'm saying? But y'all waiting for the lottery, you know what I'm saying? Talk about who good and who not.
Hey, and I am. What is it, Monday? You know what I'm saying? That's my playoffs. Fuck these games. You know what I'm saying? Stern, not Stern, Silver. Let's, get them ping pong balls rolling. Make sure Philly get a couple extras. Just don't let us drop past 6. I will fuck I might take that week off from the pod. I'm be honest with you. Like if the 76ers have to give up their first round pick because it lands at 7 or lower, I'm crashing out. I'm blocking everybody for like at least 24 hours. I'm not answering shit. Not a text message, no phone call, D&D. I don't want to hear it. Nothing.
Well,
Sam Presti better sleep one eye open.
as they said on the 5 Heartbeats, we shall see.
Yeah. Well, I hope. I got hope. Cooper Flag, come on to Philly, man. That's what we need. We need it. We need it.
But you have the MVP? What do you mean?
All right.
Okay. Well, never mind.
I mean,
never mind that.
No, I'm good.
It's
They soft.
Me.
They're soft.
Okay.
Your MVP is not a leader. I can say the same thing about, not to get into baseball, but I was just watching the Rafael Devers interview. Was that the Red Sox lost their first baseman. Devers, they switched him over to DH when we signed Bregman. And now Rafael Devers is up in the media pulling the Gleyber Torres. I'm not moving off DH. They had me move to DH. Now they want me to move to first base. It isn't fair. Like, nigga, you're making $300 million. Get a fucking first baseman and go take some grounders. Like, the fuck out of here. But, whatever. That's what losing teams do. They complain about innocuous shit. So, it sucks that here we are in the beginning of May and I already have to resign myself to the fact that the Red Sox don't have a winning culture because yet another one of my teams, their franchise player, the player they bet on, is a crybaby. So that just is what it is.
You're not mad.
No, just disappointed. It's not frustration. It's disappointment at this point. There's nothing to be mad about because I didn't have high hopes for the season coming into it, but I am disappointed in what I have seen from Rafael Devers over the past couple of months. I really am. But none of that really matters right now. It's all about the playoff hoops, and your Knicks just got to finish the job, man. Finish the job and beat the Celtics. You need 2 more wins. It doesn't matter when you get them. You get 5 more chances at it. So,
yeah. I mean, ideally, it'd be great if we get them in games 3 and 4. I'd prefer this series not go back to Boston, but it is what it is. We'll watch. We'll see. If they win, awesome. If they lose, it'll suck. But it's just fun. It's just fun living in the moment. It's just I'm loving every minute of it. And I've already dropped a couple hints that, like, if the Knicks make it to the finals, my life savings will be spent trying to get tickets to go to one of the games because
I
I
mean,
got to
$704 just to
Crazy.
get into a round 2
Crazy.
game 3
It's
is
crazy right now.
nuts.
It's crazy, bro. I was looking at the tickets for game 3 before the series started, and they were about $400 to get in.
Mm,
Once you include all the fees and everything.
mm.
Um, After they won game 1, they went up to like $500. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all
That should let you know something though. Buy
that
the tickets.
people.
Eat the four. No, eat the 400. Wait till the actual game 3 happens and flip it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably maybe want to save that money to feed my son, and my family.
Yes,
Yeah,
the kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Responsibility is fucking
Mm,
goddamn.
We do have to feed kids.
Yes,
It
we
is
do.
a
We do.
it
That's
is a
that's
responsibility.
that's like it's like 5 boxes of formula right there.
Easily.
Formula is
You know what I'm
expensive,
saying? It's a
that's
couple
just
boxes of diapers,
yeah.
wipes. That's the thing nobody really tells you. Wipes are dumb expensive.
We really running through them. We're just running through them.
That's the shit that hurts. You know what I mean? Is running through, like, you get these big ass boxes of wipes and you think, all right, this will get me through the
Good,
month, and then
yeah.
like a week later, it's like, is this the last bag?
Like no.
You know?
Where's the because I put one here. It's like no, we used that one. It's
I
like,
just spent $75 on the big ass box of Honest wipes.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are my wipes at, yo?
It's
Start
like, yo,
blaming your
did we
daughter
get
for taking
robbed?
shits. Yeah. Start being like, hey man, no more shits. You pee when you at home. You save that shits for like when you at school and stuff.
Yeah. Nah.
That's really why we need to potty train. Save some money. But yeah, I mean, look. Speaking of kids, let's get into a special. We're not even going to call it that. We'll get into a special. And this was a great suggestion by you. In our pre-process here, as you well know, in a couple of days, it will be Mother's Day. One of our most celebrated and cherished holidays as a community and as a people. And I know from myself and for yourself, I think I could speak for the both of us when I say that all of the mothers that we have in our lives, whether it be our own or the mothers of our beautiful children, um, we have a great and fond appreciation for those mothers and those women. So a little special twist on parent rules, mom rules.
Yeah.
We'll give it some mom rules. And problematic as it may be, mom rules coming from two dads, we're gonna do it anyway. And I'm gonna let you start it off.
Oh boy. Oof. Okay.
I'm a giver. There you go.
Okay. Let's see. Well, before I do that, I gotta do this. I want to give a big shout out to my mom, who is her birthday falls every year around on Mother's Day weekend, which stinks because we can never ever get a good restaurant. But we just celebrated her 60th birthday. Did a little early, her birthday's on Saturday. Mother's Day is on Sunday. She's got a bunch of stuff she's gonna do this weekend, so I'm excited. But Ma, I love you. Shout out to you. Happy birthday. And this being the first Mother's Day of my lovely wife, mom rule. Hey, like take it easy, like literally, like take it easy. I feel like it's great that our generation of parents, we all want to be great parents, right? It actually like it I think I probably take it too seriously as a dad, and I know Shannon takes it very seriously as a mom. Like we just want to do everything right, and sometimes I'm just like, I think you need to chill. I think you need to relax. Sometimes I feel like I'm forcing her to relax. It's like, yo, can you please like chill like, but with love, but like, yo, chill out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the rule. It's like, especially this weekend, like honestly, like please let somebody else do it. Whatever it is, like let somebody else do it. You probably don't need to do it. And if you ask someone, they would do it for you. And that's not just Mother's Day. That's pretty much every day. My wife is amazing. I love her. She's great. She does so much stuff. And sometimes I'm just like, you're actually doing too much. Like you're too good. You could just, ask me to do it. But she don't like when I do stuff on my own schedule and like do it my own way. So then she got to do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, hey, just grin and bear it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna do it at 3:00 in the morning, but it's gonna get done though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Just be a bottom line person.
Yeah.
Switch roles. You develop more of a dad brain. You know what I'm saying?
Be
Bottom
carefree.
line.
Yeah.
Bottom line is it's getting done. Do you know what I mean? I could fold the laundry at 7 p.m. or I could fold it at 11 after the game, and we'll still have it tomorrow morning. Either way.
Or I could fall asleep, totally forget about it, but then still do it at some point, and everything worked out.
Exactly. Because who wants to fold laundry, honestly?
I actually do all the laundry in my house, so it's
I do as well.
yeah.
I do as well. Because we're progressive men, okay?
Well, also because I'm way better at sorting and colors and things of that nature.
Yeah, that, and I will refold the laundry if you fold it wrong. So I'm just I'm very anal about it. I don't even let my mom fold my laundry. Yeah, that stopped at like 12. I was like, yeah, no, you're folding it wrong. Even if it looks neater than the way that I've folded it, because at 12 it's not like I was the neatest folder.
Like you worked.
There's a specific way that I like to fold my shirts and my undershirts and undergarments and all that stuff like that no one else seems to do it right. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it.
I respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of like an OCD tick than it is like me being sweet. But it's funny that you mentioned your mother's birthday, and shout out to Mama Smith. Happy early birthday to her. It is actually my mom's birthday when this drops. May 9th is my mother's birthday. So
that's crazy.
We share
the
struggle.
Yeah.
Of Mother's Day and Mother's Birthday always being around the same time, and sometimes the same day.
Yes.
So, especially working in the restaurant business, it is a guaranteed holiday that I have to work. So, not only will I be working on Mother's Day and not be able to go to a Mother's Day brunch or on any of those types of things, because I'll be making sure that people get their lobster tails and stuff, but that's how it's been for a lot of my life. But again, Mom, Vivian, love you to death. Happy birthday, happy Mother's Day. From Malik and myself, both of our mothers, we love you. Both of our wives, we love you. We appreciate everything that you do, both seen and unseen, whether we say it or we feel it or we try and emote it. And sometimes, at least for myself, I fall short on that emoting part. I just want you to know the appreciation level is through the roof. My mom rule, kind of related to yours, is just let us do it. Okay? So yours is, let everybody else. When I say let us do it, and we got to this a little bit towards the end of your mom rule, it doesn't mean like, oh, hey, she has to get dressed, so I put a pink shirt. No. She has to get dressed. Full stop. Now leave and go do something. And I'll dress her. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put her shirt on backwards like crisscross. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know what I'm doing. I know how to put clothes on. I do it every day. I think I can handle doing it for a 1.5-year-old. So, sometimes it's okay to just kind of let somebody else do. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be your vision.
But you ain't have to do it.
You didn't have to do it. Sometimes it's kind of undermining.
Yeah.
When I feel like, hey, I put that shit on for my baby today, and then I come home and she's wearing a completely different outfit. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, you know what I mean?
It's kind of disrespectful, honestly. It's like, yo, because I know I laid out something else. So
I know, you know what I mean? I know for a fact.
I laid out something else.
That was not the shirt that she put on this morning. You know what I mean? So just kind of, you know what I mean? It's okay to accept help. All right. Yeah. And then the other cousin of that is positive self-speak. I think that there are a lot of moms out there, like you said, that feel like they're doing it wrong, or like there's not enough time in the day, or that they're falling short of whether it's their motherly or their spousal commitments or whatever, this, that, and the third. And they feel like they just have to be on every time. And there's no one really there to just lift them up, or no voice inside their head that's letting them know, you are enough, you are doing enough, you are killing it, knocking it out. Let us be the ones to tell you that you are enough and you are doing enough, and we appreciate the effort. Just the effort, just knowing that it matters to you, just knowing that you want to do everything that you possibly can is enough. And we don't expect you to be able to do every single thing. So at least on this day, I just want for you to speak nothing but positivity into yourself. I tell Jasmine that every day is the power of positive speaking. When you're talking positively about yourself, even in your failures, it gives you perspective. It allows you to adjust. It allows you to pivot, and more importantly, it allows you to appreciate all the small steps along the way towards achieving each goal. So, all the mothers, all the wives, all the sisters out there, every woman out there that may or may not be celebrating Mother's Day, I want you to say that we all appreciate everything that you do, and I just want you to be proud of yourselves and how far that you came, because it ain't easy doing the things that you do on a day in and day out basis. So we appreciate y'all and we love y'all.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. And shout out to everyone, because I know Mother's Day can be tough for people, lost someone or, have complicated relationships. So shout out to everybody whose Mother's Day is not always their favorite time of year. It's one of those things where I think we sometimes have to remind ourselves that like we complain about, oh man, I can never get a good seat at a restaurant. Like you said, like you're working, right? Like that stinks, just to have to be working it all the time. So, the little things that we're complaining about, if you have your mom in your life, if you're blessed to have your mom in your life, don't take it for granted. I certainly don't. I try not to. Obviously, this is my wife's first Mother's Day, so I'm gonna try to make it as special as possible. Want to do something awesome, but if you got some a mother figure, whoever in your life, man, show them some love, show them some appreciation this weekend, and every weekend, obviously, but like definitely this weekend, do a little something,
Don't skimp. Don't skimp, y'all. Like, I'm glad you said mother figure, because it's important. I make sure on every Mother's Day, every woman that I've ever even considered a motherly figure, my mother-in-law, shout out to Amy, everyone, like from my mom's sorority sisters and close friends who helped her with me, aunts, cousins, things like that. Anybody that's held a role, all of them play a part in this. It's a community. It's everybody lifting each other up, especially in our community, in the Black community. It takes a lot. It does take a village. And a lot of times that village is held together and lifted up by the Black women that are the backbone of that community. So we just want to take that time to celebrate y'all. So shut up and take it. Let us celebrate y'all, please. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be humble tomorrow. On Sunday. You don't have to worry about, what does everybody else think? No, it's your day. And we are here to celebrate you. You know what I mean? You went through that labor. We didn't have to do that.
Don't get these burnt pancakes, for
you know what I mean? Hey, no, my pancakes are immaculate. I don't know about you.
Mine are good too. But somebody out there burning pancakes, but just pretend they not burnt.
Yeah, well, moms. You know what I'm saying? Shannon and Jasmine getting elite pancakes.
You know what I'm
saying? All the
rest
of you bum ass niggas giving burnt pancakes. Make them anyway.
Well,
you know what I mean?
The kids make. You gotta let the kids. Make the pancakes, the eggs, and they're gonna crack a little egg in there. You never did that as a kid?
I mean, listen. What I will say is this: photo op. This is an opportunity, for you to act. This is as close to a celebrity as a lot of you will get. So just use this as an opportunity to like get the photo op and like, oh, look, I might be helping make breakfast, and like give them the already cracked eggshells to hold over the bowl, and then get them out of the way. Okay, this is not the time to get you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to pretend eat your breakfast with like eggshells in it and a burnt pancake because the baby left the pancake there to go run around in circles and it got burnt on one end.
Like, and it's like sprinkles in it and shit. It's like, yo, who made it? You supervised this? It's like he said he wanted to make it for you.
And now you got salmonella because the eggs were spoiled. No, like, we don't need that. It's a waste of goods.
It's like,
groceries is too high.
Why is there pepper in my pancake? Why is there black pepper in my pancake?
You gotta season it. You gotta make sure that shit's seasoned.
Dads, don't do that, yo. Don't
do that.
If you feel like it's going that way, yo, just order that. Just order it from down the street. Get that Uber Eats. Get the Uber Eats and kid made it.
Go to Waffle House. If you don't have a Waffle House, go to IHOP. Something. Yeah. Get you a short stack. Get you a waffle, dude. Get you a. You know what you should? Everybody should have in their household. If you have your own house, especially, but anything that if you are a head of household, you need to have a waffle iron somewhere. It doesn't have to be one of those fancy ones that spin, that are big and cast iron and shit. It can be like one of those small plastic ones that you get at Spencer's Gifts or whatever. But like,
those are terrible. There's like a threshold of waffle iron that you got it. Like the cheap ones are cheap for a reason, and they suck, and they never make the waffles good. Then the waffle be all extra light skin and like it's like
well, you know, you definitely have to leave it on a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. yeah. If you be cooking that waffle for 3 days, like just get you a $75 waffle iron. You know what I'm saying? Like you spend that on drinks and food.
Period. You know what I mean? We're over here giving y'all gems. You know what I mean? We're giving you the opportunity to have like a great Mother's Day here. So like, take the notes. And before we sign off, man, shout out to our boy Maurice Brown, aka AO Reese. The profile that they did, what is it? Show Atlanta, I believe was the shout out Atlanta. Yeah. Did a profile on our boy who we had on the pod a couple of weeks ago. But shout out to him, man. He deserves all of the recognition in the world. Like we said, it is not easy doing the things that he does, and he's a father of two. You know, a man with many hats, many talents. And a big personality couldn't happen for a better person. So y'all definitely take a look at that profile. If you follow him on Instagram at the FMFU podcast, he's got it. The link is somewhere. If it's in his bio or on the story or something like that, definitely check that out though for sure.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
Yeah, man. Anything else before we close it up, Malik?
Let's go Knicks, obviously. I mean, what are we talking about here? Come on. Yo, man. It's going to be, listen. I, as much as I said, like, yeah, man, it's going to be great this weekend for the moms and everything. From 3:30 or Eastern on Saturday until the end of that game, I'm sorry. Don't talk to me. I'm locked in. I don't care about nothing else. Don't call me or text me. I'm locked in. Knicks, Celtics. We at the Garden. J.R. Smith.
I didn't even talk to you about the game until we logged on. Because I'm the same way. Like, I don't care if we have 50. Until there are zeros on the clock, I do not exist anywhere but on the screen.
Yeah. So yeah, man, let's go. If we go up 3-0, I might start. I might start talking crazy.
It's gonna get obnoxious if y'all go up 3-0. It's gonna get ugly. Yeah. I know it is. Yeah. I know that it is. But yeah, shout out to y'all, man. You deserve all the praise in the world. Up 2-0, but you got to finish the job. But yeah, again. Happy Mother's Day to all that celebrate. Happy birthday to both of our moms. Yes. And we appreciate every one of you guys for supporting us here on the No Rules podcast. Peace.
Peace out.